Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today the release of the Epstein files has been accepted by the House, and we're gonna look at some reactions and some statements, and Marjorie Taylor Greene with some of the victims, uh, and also we're gonna cover the seeming retconning of the Thomas Crooks story, to where he went from, I guess, radical gun-toting guy, right wing, I guess, to full-on far-left Antifa because people are lazy and people are liars. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, so please join up if you feel like. Just nothing pornographic or grotesque. And obviously, everything I show you in this video will be linked in that same description box for you to look at on your own. You don't have to hear me talking or pausing or giving you more information than the content's giving you itself, If you don't want more information, please just go watch on your own. If you're annoyed by my voice or someone else's voice or my opinions or others' opinions. So please do that. Take advantage of that. All right. So as you see here, the U.S. House approves Bill 427 to 1. And that's after, that should be scary to people. That should be really scary. That before it was like a close thing, and Thomas Massey's scratching and crawling just to get one fucking name to sign a petition to get this thing rolling. And then Trump's like, all right, guys, fine. Hey, Republicans, sign off on this. And they all about face like that is incredible. That should scare you. I mean, the lack of individuality in that place is insane as far as policy goes. That's ridiculous. Like, hey, man, we want to investigate a child sex trafficking ring. Should we do it? What do you think, Mr. President? Should we do it? If your congressperson is doing that, they need to leave, right? They should be gone, right, guys? Just checking, just temperature testing us. Just saying. Anyways, the U.S. House approves bill, force the release of the Epstein files, sending it to the Senate, which I assume it will pass there as well, because the word of these people's God, the words of these people's God gave them the okay to do so. All right, guys, it's okay to investigate child sex trafficking. It's okay to do it now. And you can see right here, here's Trump taking questions in the Oval Office.
Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we give, it's never enough. With Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages, 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that
the Democrats.
Many of the people some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't...
I was never around. Never seen him. Never seen him before. Never heard of him. Who's that guy? Who is he? What happened? This guy, I'm telling you, audience, if you keep falling for this shit, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry I have to tell you that. But, it's hard for me to filter that and make it sound nice. You're just an idiot. Nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. We've given you so many files. Why do you want more? It's never enough. It's never enough. Well, it'll always be never enough when you give us something and then people ask for more. You start handing over a little bit more things. Oh, here's a videotape. Here's another email thing. Here's another document. All right, shut up now, guys. We gave you enough. No, we want more. All right, fine. You want more? Okay, fine. Here's more. Here's some more. It's on the surface, that's saying that you're holding back things that you could have released already. You fucking dunce. Once again, if you fall for this, you're a fucking idiot. On the surface, it's as dumb as fucking rocks. It really is. I'm trying to find a dumb guy logic way to maybe okay, I can justify if someone's all right, I'm rolling with Trump on this one. He He's making a lot of sense here. I can't find one. I can't find any dumb guy logic to it. You're just an idiot. I'm sorry. And once again, it sounds mean, but someone has to fucking tell you. Someone has to let you know because, I mean, I want you to be able to, tie your shoes in the morning and be able to walk in straight lines or, walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I want you to be able to do these things, enjoy life, But if you're this fucking dumb, you're not enjoying life. I'm telling you that right now. You're missing out on a lot. On a lot. Anyways, let's continue. So here we have an interesting take from Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein. And let me check my volumes because some of these are like really loud files. Let me turn this down a little bit. He brings up an interesting idea that makes absolute sense, and he's not the only one saying it, so I'm not just relying on Mark Epstein's fucking take here. The idea of, well, we stalled on releasing these files so that we can black marker out any names that Trump wants blocked out. And, Trump and the apparatus, right? The government apparatus. We want these names blocked out. We want these names seen and these ones blocked out. And I don't mean victims. I mean some of Trump's buddies. But all right, let's hear this from Mark Epstein. Here you go.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source. What I do want to talk about.
So, again, you don't have to trust Jeffrey Epstein's brother, right? Mark Epstein. But the idea does make some sense. And once again, he's not the only one saying it. What if they were stalling just to erase names from the files? Like, all right, guys, you want the files in? Fuck it, here you go. There's nothing in there. It's just all these names blocked out, entire paragraphs blocked out. Like, I would not be surprised at all. And that is a very worthy theory that people should be, contemplating about. But let's move on to Nancy Mace here. Now, Nancy Mace, once again, as soon as Trump says, all right, release the files, all of a sudden these guys' attitude, their statements, their policy, all of a sudden just turns around. Like, Nancy Mace was hassling people about this. Like, they're trying to target Trump. They're trying to target Trump. Leave him alone. It's like, yo, Republicans, here's your IQ test. I don't mean these guys in office. I don't say trust CNN. I say use your own fucking eyes and ears. People that are Republican supporters, a part of the regular populace. This is your IQ test. If one day someone's like, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do this, this is a targeted attack, it's a hoax by the Democrats, yada, 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 and then as soon as Trump says, release the files, he's like, yeah, we should release these because Trump has full transparency. He's the best president we've ever had. This is the right thing to do, release these files. It's like, that should make your head spin. I'm not saying that's exactly what Nancy Mace has done, but still. Just the tone change because Daddy gave the okay. Like, it's just showcasing the dishonesty that you guys have to deal with. I'm kind of begging you not to deal with it anymore. Walk away from these idiots. Tell them to retire or we're going to walk away. That's what I would do, personally. You will never get support from us ever again because you haven't proven yourself to not be a liar, honestly. But let's play Nancy Mace. Let me make sure my volume's good again. Here we go.
Willing to speak. But the President of the United States did say over the weekend that only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into the trap of voting for the release of the files.
And he's come around,
the
and that's a
good
good
facts
thing.
That he
but
did not want
Biden
these
wouldn't
files
do
to come
anything.
out.
But Trump has come around, and Biden never came around. Biden never gave these women a chance, and that's the story you all aren't telling. When I went through my
they
trauma
had an investigation.
Yeah, she's such a fucking liar. Yeah, but he came around. Biden never did. Look at Biden, huh? Look at Biden. If that works on you, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry to break the story to you. Breaking news, you're a fucking idiot. Then here's a follow-up as she tries to go for pity points. I forgot her name. Is it Erin Burnett or Carol Burnett? I think it's Erin. Erin Burnett? Erin Burnett, there you go. Erin Burnett out front, pause. She has a follow-up statement. And once again, I don't like CNN. I assume a lot of Republican guys don't like CNN either. But guess what happens when you give them ammo? They use it, you idiots. They use it. Imagine having someone of full integrity sitting in front of Erin Burnett instead of this lady. Erin Burnett can't do anything after that. Can't ask tough questions because she doesn't have any. You'd have to, like, literally make something up. And when you catch them making shit up, what happens? They expose themselves as liars and full of shit. And paid by higher up people to be bullshit artists. When you take a liar and sit them next to another liar, what do you expect to happen? They'll do whatever it takes to win the argument. Which is not what we're supposed to be doing here, right? We're supposed to be journalists and actual Republican politician, right? Supposed to actually represent those things, but they don't, do they? I know everyone's aware of this already. Like, I'm pretty sure most people are aware of this already, but somehow these guys, she keeps getting votes and she keeps getting viewers. So something must be wrong here. Unless it's all bullshit, they just fake every vote, they fake every fucking, fake all the ratings and all that shit. Or it's just, old people watching and old people voting for. Maybe that's the case. But it's like, good God, how are these guys still on the main stage? Should be like a major question to yourself. But either way, let's hear the follow-up question from Erin Burnett. Here we go.
Women a chance, and that's the story you all aren't telling. When I went through my
They had an
trauma 2 years
investigation
ago,
into Ghislaine Maxwell, which resulted in her being put in prison, and then she was moved to a minimum security prison in a residential neighborhood after meeting with Todd
Maxwell in front of the oversight committee. I want to take her on. I want all the facts. I want to have my time with her to get to the bottom of this. But
willing to speak.
But you're dick riding the White House that had opportunities to do so with Ghislaine Maxwell, and you're not scorching them for it, Nancy Mace. I don't follow her all the time, right? So maybe she did, but I don't get any sense that she scorched the White House for giving Ghislaine a fucking cushy deal while getting nothing from her, by the way. I listened to I read a lot of the transcripts, and I listened to a lot of the audio. They got nothing from her. And in fact, they were leading questions to her. They were leading to her. Hey, look at these names. Which ones are guilty? It's like, what? No, you have her tell you shit. You have her tell you stories about what she... And then you find out if you can corroborate them. Duh. And of course, she had nothing but glowing things to say about Donald Trump. I don't really know the man. I don't know the man, but everything I've heard is he's an amazing person. A big, giant dick. Beautiful, large hands. And what a wonderful man. What a wonderful person. Great president. If I could vote for him, I would vote for him. I totally would. Kind of mixing the Trump voice there. Bibbidi bobbidi. Oh, I love Trump. What a scrumptious young man. And wow, he's such big muscles. Oh. Anyways, let's hear kind of the opposite of that, at least on the surface. Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, where they are... I'm going to have to turn this one down. It's very loud. Turn it down a bit. And they're, as you can see, the Epstein victims are behind them. And even with the here's the thing that maybe the Trump administration is not really thinking about is if they do that thing that Mark Epstein implied, right? They black out Republican names, but there's enough that's not blacked out. Some of these girls will be able to point out, like, oh, that's this person. That's this person, because these guys are the victims of this guy, of Epstein, right? Thus, they can point them out. And guess what, Michael Tracy, saying that they're, well, these girls are, this girl was 20 years old. Doesn't matter to me. Does not matter to me. Any type of trafficking of another human being is bad no matter what. And if some of these politicians are taking advantage of that or getting their pleasure from that, yeah, I want to know who the fuck is doing that for sure. And I think most people are in that category as well. Right? Don't let them trick you into oh well, she's 5 days away from being 18 years old. So who cares? Don't let these arbitrary numbers trick you, bro. They're trafficking fucking girls and taking advantage of them by offering them fake modeling careers. Come on. Allegedly. But yeah, the blacking out of names might be an actual backfire here, because if the girls can point out, let's say they're the actual victim and whatever's redacted, and they can point out, they get enough information to point out, like, oh, that was this person. And Marjorie Taylor Greene promised them that if they give me a list, I will read the fucking names out. I will read their names out. I'll get into Congress. I'll be at the fucking podium, and I will read every single name these guys give me. So, I'm just saying. And once again, the Trump thing, where let's be honest, it's a response to what these guys have been doing for a while now. The Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, and Ro Khanna, what they've been doing. And mostly the public, let's be honest, mostly the public complaining about the Epstein stuff. They are the ones that almost forced Trump's hand to, and his, like, once again, their dog shit way of handling it. Like, even for a cover-up, they fucked it up. Right? The attempt was a cover-up. That's clear as day, right? But they fucked that up badly. So, I mean, well, unless it was like a stall job, but even that's like, you're doing that horribly. Right? Why not just keep it quiet? Don't mention it. Don't bring it up. Keep it a fucking secret. Don't say anything to anyone. If anyone brings up Epstein, just say, "Oh, we're working on it," and go about your business. And then when you're finished redacting all these things, and people are screaming for these files, you release them, and they're gonna praise you for it. But now, after the handling of this thing, it is so horrendous that, yeah, there's. It's going to be hard to recover from that. There's definitely plenty of dummies that will fall for the, all right, releasing them. We're going to release them. I changed my mind. I heard the people's crying and crawling. I will now release the Epstein files. All right, it'll work on some people, but for a lot of people, like, yo, why are we trying to hide this? And they're going to give these guys credit. That's what's going to happen. They're going to give Marjorie Taylor Greene credit, Thomas Massie, and Ro Khanna. Like, these guys are the actual ones that fought for the Epstein files. Not Trump and his dumb fuck administration. Like, look who the victims stand with. They stand with these guys, not with fucking Trump. Especially after calling it a hoax for all this time, right? But here's Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of real victory dancing on Trump's fucking grave. Here we go.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that.
Okay, so it was almost unanimous. It was 427-1. And I think there was 5 that were, I guess, undecided is what you call it. I don't know. I mean, hey, if you take what she says seriously, like, hey guys, we should be ending wars at this point, right? Shouldn't we be like, yo, Get out of the Middle East, you fuck. Leave now. Once again, there's like a kind of a degrees of care that Americans have. It's sad, but it's the case. Yeah, it's very unfortunate because like we do things around the world that lead to people being trafficked sexually or otherwise, and all ages of girls and boys being trafficked around the world as a result of some of our foreign policy and who we choose to boost up and who we choose to put down. And just like on like then the obvious thing, right? Just blowing people up. Like that's terrible, right? Right? Christ is king, right, guys? Right? Christ is king, right? That's what they should change their slogan. That's what Nick Fuentes change your slogan to that. That Christ is king, right? But don't worry, Nicky's a little neocon himself, so it's okay. The Monroe Doctrine.
The one person voted no.
One person, man.
Yeah, that's surprising, but they should
Eh,
search him in the documents.
see right here, 427, one nay, and 5, I guess, were didn't vote.
Didn't didn't they all vote before and didn't pass this?
That was, see, they were doing a petition to get it, to get to this moment where they actually vote on it, right? The House of a congressional house goes to a vote to it. Before they had to, Massey and Ro Khanna were trying to get a petition signed by enough people to force a vote.
Mm,
And now they forced a vote,
okay.
and Trump gave them the okay, and that should be head spinning, by the way. That it was so difficult to get the petition votes in the first place, right? That was such a difficult thing to get happen, right? For Massey and Ro Khanna. And then as soon as they get that, Trump's like, "All right, fine, we'll release the files." I say Republicans, go ahead, vote for it. And then all of a sudden,
Could this
overwhelmingly, all of a sudden, they're all like, "Yeah, let's vote. Let's do it." 427 to 1 now.
yeah.
That should break
There's
people's craniums, bro. With that shit. But go ahead.
right, but like if it was that hard to get the petition, then that tells me there's a different situation from then till now, right? Like a
Ah,
lot of things have been implied about Trump,
mm-hmm.
and so now I could definitely see like Democrats getting on board to like want to know what's there, right?
And
But
use it. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm thinking there could be other types of like they should have all voted similarly for the petition. So there's something changed.
Well, Trump outwardly, right in words, gave him the okay. Like, all right, Republicans, you should vote for this now. Which then led to the overwhelming support of releasing the files, right? But
Mm.
Mark Epstein, right, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and along with plenty of other people, are throwing out the idea or the theory that, hey, what if they just were stalling to redact certain names that they don't want to be in public? What if that's the case?
Well,
AKA
previously,
editing, right?
yeah, well, previously they said they released everything, and then there was mention about there was a lot of false information in there, right? That the Democrats planted. That was what Trump said, so that those things wouldn't be released. Um, so I don't know really what the scope is of what they will release now, or if they're gonna, like how do they treat that? If they actually think that there's fake information, or if he's just even gonna label something as fake, like do they exclude that? Do they include it, but
Well,
separately, or
they might do something where they redact, let's say, Trump and friends of Trump and people Trump likes. Their names get redacted,
Yeah.
but Bill Clinton will be shown, and Reid Hoffman will be shown, and Larry Summers will be shown, right? That could be
Yeah.
the angle they go at, but that could really backfire. That could really backfire because you have right here with these guys the fucking victims, right? If you give them enough information, they'll be like, "Oh, that was my testimony." Oh, that was Sally's testimony. That was Janie's testimony. So thus, we know what names they're hiding right there. And as I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene said she would get on a podium and read every name that these guys put out. If these things that they release is not good enough, I would think that would happen, possibly, because there's a lot of political leverage in this. For once again, you have to take Marjorie Taylor Greene as some sort of saint, right? But if she's like a careerist politician, which I guess we've seen in a negative light, she would take advantage of this politically, wouldn't she? She'd take the win, and that would boost her up towards running for president status. So why wouldn't she do that? Or even Thomas Massey or Ro Khanna.
Michael Tracy's gonna have to work overtime, double shift.
Yeah.
He's gonna be driving a Lamborghini pretty soon.
I think that she might win in like the public, but the thing is that the party, the way the party stuff works, she's not gonna have the relationships with the party leadership, so they're not gonna back her, and it's gonna lead to problems actually getting the winning the primary. So
Who was backing Trump when he first ran?
that's a good point. The Republicans are a little bit more free than the Democrats. The Democrats have a lot more control with the superdelegates, but there is definitely, you could see what happened with New York, right? Curtis Lewa, the Republican nominee, was not endorsed by Trump, right? There's a lot of infighting going on within both parties, but once again, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she doesn't really have she might have her star come up, right? She with Massey, who's kind of got something going, but there's a lot of other. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think with a lot of these politicians, words alone, you could wreck you could wreck the entire primary class. You could do that with words. They just don't do it because they figure like, okay, if I don't win, I still want to have some support, in Congress.
One of the things is that the elections that the public hears about or really is marketed are the elections that are like for state assembly or these kind of Senate and stuff like that. They're much more prone to control by party leadership. But the thing is that the way the judges are selected and the way the ballot machines are picked and stuff like that remains mysterious to most people because that's really what determines the power, right? Who's selecting the judges? Remember, judges can even stop Trump, but that's really under party leadership control. So the thing is that there's a lot of different ways. Like, there's going to be people who, if I was Marjorie Taylor Greene, there's going to be people who might like siding me with Thomas Massey and stuff like that, whatever, right? I can use other people to start primarying them and also their support mechanism and start to sabotage them from underneath. And the regular people, once again, we think that they should fight on our side, should they? Let's be real. The fact of the matter is that the industry is giving the consultants and the lobbyists hundreds of millions of dollars to preserve the status quo, to throw things in their interest. And people like you, what are you donating to, candidates or activists that are really trying to fight against that? You're not. So you get the government and the activists you deserve to an extent, right? We have to really, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, no matter how good she is, she can't save it. Well, first, your question wasn't really about that, but your question was like, could she run that into an actual presidential run? She might be, but there's gonna be a lot of powerful forces against her, not just Trump, but just party leadership and infrastructure.
Well, Trump does it on behalf of other people. Like it's not his thing. It's not his party, right? He's a figurehead, but he's not. Like, there's all these things behind the scenes that we don't see are the actual drivers.
With, like, a lot of significant people inside of New York City Republicans and stuff like that, and none of them are talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene at all. If anybody's doing it, it's me. Like I'm like probably more. Nobody in the leadership is, even the rebel Republicans, they're not talking about her.
Yeah.
I might bring her up, but it's like she doesn't exist to us. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not this is not me saying that she's a legit person, like legit candidate, legit person. I'm just saying she could do that though. She could try to leverage it towards a bigger run. Maybe go outside the House. Maybe go for Senate instead. Right?
It's very reminiscent of Tulsi, right?
Not yes, but no. Yes, but no.
Blah. I'm gonna be the one to save this America first, and this kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. If Bernie wasn't there, then yeah, I'd say so. But There is no one stopping her. There's
Trump is
no.
like burning for the right.
No, he's not. No, he's fucking not. He already folded his shit. He's folded heavily. He's
Populist kind of populist, you know what I mean?
nah.
Whatever.
The people have turned on this fool. The only ones still dedicated are full of shit artists and dumb old people. They're the only
And
ones
a lot of
left.
people have nowhere else to go. The thing is that all the rejects kind of ended up with Trump, right? The RFK, all the people who needed a place to get Tulsi, right? People that needed a place to go.
Yeah, but
They
they
ended
end
with
up
Trump.
ruining their own reputation by going over there. They do. They've ruined their reputation by doing it because you could see the policies coming out of NHS and DNI. Like you could see that shit, and people are like, go fuck yourselves."
I hope it's over. We'll see.
And we'll see, but
I hope it's over for them.
either way, uh, yeah, she could use all this to boost her credibility, and that. Once again, not saying that's a righteous thing to do. I'm saying it's a possibility. Or
You know,
Massey or Rokana.
it might even be that, they say in poker you should only play one level above your opponent, because you play 2 levels above, then you psych yourself out and you lose. But I think I think there's some suspect stuff going on. Anyways, yeah.
Mhm.
That's with me.
Okay. Well, let's keep it moving here because we're gonna have the Timcast IRL game where you can tell they kind of got the phone call thing where it's like, all right, we need to kind of make like, hey, no one really cares about this story anymore. No one cares about Epstein anymore. They care about their prices. It's like, aren't those going up? Haven't they been going up? It's like, yeah, but so either way, you run into a fuck up by the Trump administration. Either way, which is hilarious. But let's hear them talk about this for a while because they're going to transfer into something that I'm seeing ever since I looked into that Tucker Carlson, Thomas Crooks, right, the attempted assassin of Donald Trump. They're starting to retcon the guy seemingly from just extremist type guy to far left Antifa MSNBC watcher. Looks like he's on the left now. It's like, that's weird. And when you get full of shit artists like Tucker Carlson and Tim Pool and Fox News and Tim Pool's fucking team for the most part, yeah. But let's hear it out. Let's hear some content. Here we go.
The political things that he was doing
I'll give it
that
some
really
volume.
involve what we can call the deep state. I think it's a harder thing for people to digest, even though we're talking about like this rampant pedophilia network. We've been talking about that part of the story for like 10 years now. When it comes to what he was doing with like Assad possibly and Israel, or hanging out with Ehud Barak,
Assad?
and all his.
Assad? Is there a Israeli Assad? Or does he mean actual Syrian president Bashar al-Assad? I don't know.
He obviously had friends within this government and in Harvard, and weird science things. Not Harvey Weinstein. One of the Eric Weinstein at Harvard talking about, or MIT. Why did he have access to a lot of weird science situations, learning about these weird, like I think anti-gravity stuff. But it's a much harder thing, I think, to understand that a lot of different intelligence agencies are going to a person and or network to try to pull the strings around the world.
Yeah.
Because it sounds crazy to some people, but we unfortunately in our own history in America, we have a long history of that very thing, whether it's Operation Northwoods, Gladio, NATO, possibly being behind the scenes of the Years of Lead, which was a lot of political false flag violence in Italy. This is just a long history. We still don't really know who killed JFK.
Yeah.
We don't. There's a guy in Sirhan, they say killed RFK, but RFK Jr. doesn't even believe Sirhan was that assassin. So we had this long history of these weird things that have happened.
Actually, I think it was one of Kennedy's staffers, like the dad RFK that got assassinated. I think according like years later, when Sirhan was like at a parole hearing or something like that, I think this guy forgave him for like, yo man, I don't think you killed RFK. I don't think you killed him. I'm sorry for like basically saying you did for all these years, if I remember correctly. But here we go.
And I think a lot of people, it's hard for them to digest that is the reality. That the reality is unfortunate that our government has been weaponized against us.
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
Use these bad actors.
Well, and beyond, I think like the Epstein stuff, people are just blackpilled on it because like the only time it ever actually makes headlines is when one party is using it to weaponize against the other. Like American politics in 2025 is just each party posting a picture with the other party's leader with Epstein. And it just goes back and forth, just like different leaders. So it's like, yeah, people are just blackpilled on it. People are fatigued from the news cycle. I mean, this has been in the zeitgeist now for like 8-9 years. People like this is, I mean, it's the same thing that happened to the shutdown. It's like such a magnitude, but I don't know. There's so much churn in the news cycle. There's so much insanity happening that people just get fatigued really quickly and they lose interest. I mean, that's just kind of the unfortunate reality. Like you're saying with.
Someone remind us, fool, that Bill Clinton was president in the fucking 90s. Who was the figurehead, right? That they're using as, look at the Democrats. And Reid Hoffman and Larry Summers versus the guy who's president right now, who has the ability to go into these files, release them, or whatever the fuck about them. That is a major difference. And something tells me they're going to sell a narrative to make it seem like, listen, people don't even care about this anymore. Like, almost like they're trying to tell you to, like, believe that way or think that way. I have a hard time believing that. I don't even know. Are the comments still here? I'm curious. Let's see the comments. Here we go.
With the Epstein stuff, I mean, just a bit of probing, we could really uncover some pretty dramatic things that would upturn our society. But yeah, like the only time it ever makes the headlines is just when a party's using it, primarily these days, using it against Trump. I mean,
like, again, it's totally, why don't we know about Epstein's final phone call he made in prison? He said he was making it to his mother,
nobody
right?
cares.
And we found out he was actually calling his girlfriend at the time. Like, what's up with that? And he lied about that. Why did the officer let that happen unsupervised? A lot of weird things. You know, obviously we all know about the cameras and all that.
If it was a phone call from the prison, don't they record all those?
I don't know why we haven't. Why don't we have any access to that or any information about it? It's a very, on the night he died, I'm putting that in quotes for anyone who's listening, because I think he's alive. And in some witness protection.
A whole album through a payphone.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah.
Andy, do you have a particular feeling one way or the other as to whether or not this particular issue about the texting? Do you think that it's just more?
I'm sorry, Timmy's audience are a bunch of idiots. I can't do it. It is what it is. They're a fucking bunch. They're either robots or idiots, is what I'm getting from that. Some kind of like we're actually listening to the conversation points from the comments or from the chat, but the rest are just spamming certain things or just not even not paying attention, or they're just bots. I'm sure a lot of them are just bots saying random comments. Trump 2028. You know, Trump's the best. Trump's a liar. Trump's a Jew. Right? It smells like bots, honestly. But either way, here we go.
More red meat for the base, like Tate was saying, or do you think that there's something that's going to actually come of it?
I feel like it's diversion. It's a diversion from what people really want, which is show me the damn list. Let's put the list out there. Why are we not seeing the list? It's very strange to me that Trump just a week ago was like, no list, no big deal, and now he's like, show the list. It's a Democrat thing. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, is now being primaried with Trump support because of her, moaning and groaning about the list on X. And so it's not just party against other party; it's party within party now.
That's absolutely right.
And so that's a very strange thing has happened over the last week that I don't think really anybody
it's not
has
that strange.
A good understanding of why did Trump flip all of a sudden and release the list.
I think because
Well, we have this theory out there that they redacted everything they wanted to get redacted, so now they're comfortable releasing it. Or, hey, everyone's screaming about this, and you are fucking losing support. You're hemorrhaging supporters, straight up. I mean, you already were. But it's just like more of a mountain fall each time Epstein stuff comes up. But, yo, why are you trying to hide this? Something about you in there? What's going on? Right? So, yeah. So it could be a little bit of panic mode as well. But all right, here we go.
Very strange.
He likes to market test, and he sees that there was an upswell of being like, all right, we actually do want the list. I actually don't.
He's reading the base a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Testing.
I don't believe the list. I don't believe there is a list anymore. I think there's nothing they could release that's going to change anyone's minds.
To that point, there was, what was it, a couple months ago, they had some of the alleged victims saying that, oh, well, we're going to make our own list. That made news for a couple days.
Yeah.
And nothing's come of that either. And it makes me wonder,
Oh, we saw them today.
is this just a situation where people use this, the threat of a list? Is it just a means to get attention for themselves or to leverage people because no one really knows what is on the list, if the list exists, because maybe the list doesn't actually, like a secretive list doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, there's like 30 lists now. Now people are like feeling FOMO if they're not on the list. They're like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
You know?
Well, even Elon was on the list.
I think the idea is they're going to showcase, or it's not actually a list. It's, hey, these guys are connected to Epstein in some form or fashion, some closer to him than others, and thus we want to go over that. Is what I think the public is actually asking for. And, you know, if you're aware of, Epstein having 26 different Trump phone numbers, hanging out with the guy quite a bit, some of the things in those emails alone, I mean, yeah. You could see why that guy might want to be like, oh no, this will make me look bad. I need to stop this. Me and my friends. You know what? Actually, it's Bill Clinton and Reid Hoffman. They're the bad guys, not me. All right, here we go. But these guys are like it's almost selling the idea that, yeah, we have fatigue about this, man. It's like mainly Dick Face Phil here and the Ginger. Hey, people are just done with this, And then you're gonna see Timmy come in and really oversell that. Yeah, people don't care about this anymore. Here we go.
The list doesn't actually, like a secretive list doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, there's like 30 lists now. Now people are like feeling FOMO if they're not on the list. They're like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Well, even Elon was on the list for a while, but it was a string of text or something that was like, is Elon still coming or something like that.
David Blaine was on the list. Like that, he was hanging out with Epstein at one point.
If you're a somebody, you're on that list.
Yeah.
If you have aura, you're on the list.
And I think
See, that's like diffusing what's there. We already have pictures of Elon with Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein, like, is he coming to the island or not? From Jeffrey Epstein, right? It's like, well, what does that mean? That means he has to be close to him in the first place, right? Or at least close connections to him in the first place. And all the implications that are on the fucking island. And it's like, here's how I feel like I recognize these guys as full of shit artists. Is that it was only Democrats on this thing. It was only the Bill Clintons and Larry Summers on this thing, right? They'd be like, yeah, we need to release this thing right now. Everyone cares about it. And the way they're talking here is not in the sense of, it doesn't feel like opinions. It feels like they're trying to get you, the audience, to buy it. Like, yeah, no one does care about this. If you care about this, you're kind of by yourself. No one else really cares. Like, they're kind of implying that because they expect you to listen to them, but not listen to each other. That's a quiet guess I have from these weirdos. Also,
if you're anybody, if you're somebody, then you're on the list, right? So,
but that's not true. Like,
that's the coolest. That's what he just said, right? Like
well,
he's framing it as the coolest. If you're on the Epstein list,
I think there was a worse thing that happened there, which is, oh well, just everyone's on it. You think everyone's just guilty? It's like, no, I don't think everyone's on the fucking list like that, quote unquote list like that. I don't think that's the case. I think it is kind of selective people. I really do. When they bring up David Blaine, like, well, wasn't Copperfield on there, like, implied in some really dark shit? Right? What makes David Blaine's like, oh, well, if David Blaine didn't do anything, so he's on the list too. Like, is he? Let's find out, though. Release it and let's find out the actual context of David Blaine being brought up in regards to Jeffrey Epstein. Right? Yeah, he's rich and famous, so he's been around a bunch of people, right? But you have the the victims that are claiming to be able to talk and make their own fucking list, right? They're claiming, like, yeah, I will testify about this. I'm done being silent. I will testify about this. You fucking dingbats. But it feels like they're just trying to, like, diffuse it in a way because Trump's president. I'm sure at some point we'll hear, well, Democrats didn't do it. Democrats had all the time in the world to do it. They didn't do it. Why are you making Trump do it for? Oh, no, but you call those guys bad guys, right? So if they're bad guys, they would obviously try to hide something, right? What's Trump? What is Trump's excuse? Is he a bad guy too? Exactly. Like their logic wouldn't. It's not going to add up. It's not going to work. With thinking people, it's not going to work. Only their dumb fuck bots and their dumb fuck audience is going to buy up this shit. But all right, here we go.
Personally, I think that there's a lot of people that don't want to see any kind of list come out because their name is on it, and that doesn't indicate wrongdoing. That just indicates that they knew Jeffrey Epstein.
The context would show that.
Like if Jeffrey Epstein was a notorious networker, right? Like he was doing everything he could to be in some way ingratiated with any person that was powerful. I mean, Stephen Hawking obviously was on the list, and
science.
If we just got Epstein a LinkedIn.
What?
I thought he was a notorious kind of perv type of guy. His own movie said he was a perv. Right?
Yeah.
But either way, it's like, just if you release it all, I would think the context would help. No, once again, if you're worried about dumb people, just say like, "Oh my God, his name is over there. He's a bad guy." If that's what your audience does, then you have bigger problems to deal with. It's time to start dealing with them. All right? If they can't understand context, nuance, and investigative like thinking patterns, if they can't handle that, then like you have bigger problems in the first place. Then start dealing with that. Which is obviously not what this show's going to do, and it's not going to be what Trump does, obviously. They want them stupid so they can take their money, take their audience, take their votes, take their support. We need you guys dumb. Duh.
Well, this is coming off like a couple of like guys just talking shit out there, but they are in a political show, right? So
yeah,
it actually seems like these guys could be dumb, but they're like, why are they always dumb in the same direction, right? Like they're definitely playing it down in a way where it's like, first, it's not about a list, right? Like you said, the documents, there's people that will be within documents. It's not like the Rolodex. Like that's technically a list, but that's not, or the flight logs, technically a list, but we're talking about like things as documents, as notes, as whatever, as business transactions, and anything that they have information on. It's not that just somebody's found on it and it's like, oh, he did something. It's like, what is the contents? And that's what we're missing. And they're already like kind of trying to anticipate things and play it down when you don't know what you don't. If you haven't seen it yet, then what are you trying to protect? Like that's very strange behavior.
It's normal for these idiots. It's normal. All right. Here we go.
An account, we could have saved all this trouble. He could have just taken out his networking through there.
Just advertises his account. But I mean, to the point though, I think that the fact that lists exist, or if there are lists that exist, I think that a lot of people are just like, I don't want that to come out because I don't want my name associated with Epstein.
I don't care.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about anyone around this table because I don't imagine that there's anybody here that actually knew Jeffrey Epstein.
Sorry to pounce.
Remember that Timmy's not there.
The point that I'm making is,
yet.
if you've had any kind of dealing with Epstein and a list comes out and your name's on it, the people, like to your point earlier, the people that believe that he has done that, they have done something wrong, they're going to believe that you also did something wrong, right? If you're of the opinion that Jeffrey
That's
Epstein,
why it's not supposed to be released in a fucking list, you dingbat. It's supposed to be like in the context of files, of emails, bank transactions, witness testimony of interactions with different people, on and so forth. It's not supposed to be just a list of names. Duh. These guys are fucking dumb. Like, God, idiots. They keep putting list in quotes, right? Like, the list, like in quotes. The reason for putting it in quotes is because it's not an actual fucking list. Like, here's people that were associated or have been around Jeffrey Epstein, whether through financial means, through private means, whatever. Here's all of it. Duh. On an actual list. There we go.
Anyone
I want to get to the
Epstein
Thomas Crooks stuff.
knew was party to
just wanted to
illicit
showcase
behavior,
that these guys.
well, then that's a strong.
Sorry, I just wanted to showcase that it seems like these guys are trying to dampen down what's actually happening and trying to like kind of defuse the situation because it'll help what the Trump administration and the government as a whole. Let's be honest, right? And for people that are wondering, like Timmy Pool had the first question from the new media seats at the fucking White House press corps, right? What does he ask about? He doesn't ask about Epstein, does he? What does he ask about? Why are these guys so unfair to you? Why is the mainstream media so unfair to you guys? Is what he did. Hard-hitting journalism. Don't worry, we'll see some Timmy very soon. Here we go.
Long incentive to not want any kind of list to come out.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Tim's made it like a variation of this point of like, with both parties, with both candidates, their war chests, there's probably lots of funding that's coming from people that, even if they didn't do anything illegal, they would be on that list, be embarrassing, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, look, if you're trying to be pragmatic, if you are trying to operate an overhaul of the political system,
rationalize it,
you don't want to have to deal with this on the side because
These guys are literally getting paid to do this.
it's a very online thing.
Literally.
And my evidence for this is that
unless
Fox
they do the
News
show
really
for
covers
free.
it, and Fox News is where the majority of the base is sort of getting their information from. And this is why there was that disconnect earlier in the year when Bondi and Trump came out and they're like, why do people even care about this? Because in their world, people don't really care about it. It's like, it is an online thing. I'm not downplaying the importance. Like, obviously this is a very scandalous thing.
That's a lie.
But,
that's a lie, though.
Yeah,
because, sorry, just really quick, Pam Bondi was on Fox News last year or a year and a half ago talking about how Merrick Garland is dragging his feet and they need those files that American people deserve to know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say that.
Dan Bongino.
The biggest example. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty obvious.
Yeah, but since he said Pam Bondi specifically, it's like that's a blatant lie.
You don't even need her before in the campaign season. This year, they released phase 1 of the Epstein files and did a whole photo shoot about it, a whole PR thing about it. Look what we did. We got the Epstein files out. See, guys? People looked into it, was like, we already had these. And that's when the fucking shit started falling downhill. That's when shit started rolling downhill, bro. Because we were like, yo, this is bullshit. Give us the real thing. And that's when they started capitulating and bullshitting their own and gaslighting their own fucking constituents about it. So, yeah, they were beefing this story up as like a victory for them. Like, look at the Democrats. They don't care about Epstein stuff. We do. Watch this. Oh, fuck. You guys really do actually care. Like, you're not buying this? I thought you'd buy this and say, look what Trump's doing. He's a good guy. You're not buying it? Fuck.
So
Right?
Trump wants credit for this releasing the documents when, like, a few months ago, he was like, you guys are still talking about that?
The fucking
Why
hoax.
Why are we still talking about it?
Why are we still talking about this guy? They really relax, guy. I'm just thinking of the fucking South Park.
Relax, guy.
Guy. Can't.
All right. But, all right. I mean, do I call this gaslighting by Timmy's crew? I might have to call it that.
Absolutely. And then the way I'll let it happen, but just everything about this interaction was so weird and phony baloney, you know?
Also, by the way, I just want to point out, there's a cock over this guy's shoulder. Just want everyone to know that. There's a cock right over this guy's shoulder. Right there.
Seems about right.
Might be symbolism. I don't know.
If they're trying to dampen it if they're trying to dampen like the impact of this, that means they do feel like Trump administration or they have a sense that they're guilty of something that they're trying to dampen, right? Like if they thought it was clean,
well,
they wouldn't have to do this.
Timmy got the phone call because let's be real. They know that it's not like people care about the regular people care about the Epstein stuff. Regular Republican Trump supporters, Timmy fans, regular people do care about this. And a lot of people were making content about it, right? Because it makes you money and gets you audience members, right? But Timmy's one of the guys who got the phone call and said, all right, listen, you made your nut. Now it's time to step back a bit, Timmy, and diffuse this. And that's what Timmy's job is. And Timmy passes things down to his lieutenants to like calm shit down. Hey guys, no one cares about this. They care about, the pricing of food. as we're gonna hear from Timmy very soon. And if they don't they played the clip last night, we were watching it. If it's not the exact portion I want to see, I have it on the side to play that. I have a separate video on the side that has some of Timmy's appearance on the Jesse Fuckface Water show. He's like, how are these your people, Republican? How the fuck? Like, get someone cooler to the like. Why are they these dweeby fucking like? How are these your fucking people, bro? There's no fucking way, right? Just like, please, any type of Trump supporter, Republican, whatever the fuck, please tell me that it's just bots. It's all bot farming. No real people watch these stupid fucking shows. All right? Just please. Either way, let's continue. Here we go. Like, look at these fucking... Look at them.
Just the reality is that Trump and Bondi, they just saw people like spurging nonstop about it, and they were just like, "Oh, what's the deal?"
So Tim is on with Jesse Waters, and we're going to cut to that right now, so we can take a listen to this.
For a lot of national security stuff, but what do you think is going to happen next?
It's hard to say. You know, it's Biden could have released it. Trump could have released it. Trump said it was a hoax, but I'm glad to see that Trump is back on message with this. We should see these released. And considering the emails that got leaked in the past couple of weeks that turned out to be a nothing burger, well, actually, it turned out to backfire on these Democrats. We're now learning that...
He's lying. He's lying. It wasn't a nothing burger, and no, it didn't backfire. That's the article I played when I went over this the first. Actually, there he is. Look at that. That Dubster sent me. Where this guy is the journalist, whoever they are, they were lying within their article, and you could tell it comes straight from the White House, which is where Timmy comes from. Like, that's where his point of view comes from, like straight from the White House. So yeah, Timmy's lying. There was plenty of substantial things in those emails, plenty. And once again, if I switch the name around to Clinton instead of Trump, these guys would have a fucking like, oh my God, look at it, Clinton's in there. See that? The Democrats. Like, these people would do that, right? Like, your own common sense would tell you that. So either way, let's continue. Timmy's already lying off rep here, but here we go.
It was Virginia Giuffre who was listed in these emails, who had already said Trump had done nothing.
She wasn't listed. We didn't see her name. It was redacted. Either way, it doesn't matter, because they were meeting at Jeffrey Epstein, not at Mar-a-Lago. They had a meeting at Jeffrey Epstein's house, privately, for a long period of time, if it was Virginia Giuffre. So it doesn't even matter if it was her or not. And that little shady article I read when I covered this the first time, they I think they're lying, but maybe it was a misprint or a typo where they put Trump instead of Epstein's house. They said in an article that, oh, this person is Virginia Giuffre, the redacted name, and they were meeting at Trump's place, which I assume would be in Mar-a-Lago, right? And which is like, oh, that's normal, because he would talk to people, and Virginia Giuffre said, oh, Trump is an innocent man. He's an innocent, good, heartwarming, loving human being. That's what Trump is. That's what Giuffre said. But like, no one said that was Virginia Giuffre. People guessed that. Timmy's just saying it as a fact, which is not established at all. No one has established that yet. He's just saying it. And that article is doing the same thing, where they're like, "Oh no, we know who it is."
What they're saying is that exact sentence in that email has previously been released, and it says Virginia where the redacted mark is, where it says victim now. That's what they're saying. They're saying they've seen it, the exact same sentence, and it said Virginia before. I couldn't cite where to find that, but they're saying it was previously released.
I'd love to see them show that to everyone then, instead of just saying it. And it's not even, first of all, it's not said in the article, and I don't think Timmy's saying it here. So at this point, they're just saying it. They're just saying it without proving it or showcasing it. I'm just saying. And also, once again, it doesn't matter if it's Virginia Giuffre or not, because they met at Epstein's house privately. Let's say, okay, Virginia Giuffre was an employee of Trump, right? So it makes sense for her to be meeting with him privately. It could be about employment, her paycheck, a raise, you're fired, hey, stay away from Epstein, whatever the fuck, right? It's an employer talking to an employee at their work, at their business, right? But when you're in Epstein's house, Why the fuck is he meeting with an underage girl that's one of his staffers at Epstein's fucking house for long periods of time by themselves? Especially when you hear the claim of Trump saying that, oh, look, they're stealing my employees. They're stealing my employees. Was it him warning her? Like, hey, stay away from Epstein. Why would Epstein leave them alone like that if that was the play? It doesn't. I'm telling you right now, the logic is not going to work out. It's not going to work out. It's clinging on to bullshittery. That maybe Trump didn't do anything. I'm not saying you're doing that, but definitely these articles and Timmy, I don't think they're like, clinging on to it as much as they're trying to sell that to the audience to get them to cling on to things. These guys, yeah, we know Trump's full of shit and corrupt, but we work for him, so what do? Work for him and the entire apparatus of the government. Let's be honest. Along with Jesse Waters. Same thing. Probably Tucker Carlson as well. You could probably throw him in there. Plenty of names. I'm just saying. But, all right. Let's continue. Here we go.
Wrong. We're learning that a journalist was colluding with Epstein for positive PR. It sounds like, let's be honest, I don't think we're going to get a lot out of these. I think if there were documents, they're probably long gone. I think there are powerful interests that are probably concerned they'll be made to look bad. But I do think it's a big distraction, and Democrats are getting caught up in something. Some have suggested Trump is doing this on purpose. Rope-a-dope. Tell him to come in. Oh, no, the Epstein thing's a hoax. They tackled this issue.
Rope-a-dope.
Focuses on tariffs. He focuses on immigration.
I can't with him.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is rope-a-dope? I'm sorry.
Muhammad Ali. But, are you telling me the president of the United States is dangling sex trafficking of underage girls as a strategy? Is that what you're telling me, Timmy? That might be worse. That's as bad as anything else, right? That means you're showing, no care and you're being quite callous towards people that were abused by this guy that no one likes, named Jeffrey Epstein. What the fuck? Okay, I'll back up a little bit.
Distraction, and Democrats are getting caught up in something. Some have suggested Trump is doing this on purpose. Rope-a-dope. Tell him to come in. Oh, no, the Epstein thing's a hoax. They tackled this issue, and then Trump focuses on tariffs. He focuses on immigration. The American people at the kitchen table aren't talking about Epstein. They're talking about grocery prices, and as you already pointed out, they're down. I mean, they're still high, but they're coming.
He's going to add his little bullshit in there as well. But, yeah, no one was talking about Charlie Kirk either until he got shot in the fucking neck and put in front of the entire nation. Then all of a sudden, people that had never heard of the guy are talking about Charlie Kirk. Guess what happens if you release the Epstein files and there's something, and there's a there? Yeah, it will be talked about, which is the point of the people that are looking into this stuff. Like, yo, why are they hiding this? Why are they not releasing this stuff? What's going on? On one hand, they say, oh, it's gonna embarrass some people on one hand, but also saying no one really cares about it on the other hand. Like, maybe they would care if they heard about it, if you guys reported on it, if you guys made it a big deal as the journalists of our times. Right, guys? And by the way, plenty of people do care about this stuff. They do. Plenty of people do. Maybe not the 70-year-olds watching Fox News every night. But the rest of the country, I'm pretty sure you're into this story. You're curious about it, at the very least. They got Netflix documentaries, they got mainstream documentaries, they got internet documentaries, they got all their favorite content creators covering this story. People do care about this, which is why Trump's hand is forced to start looking into it, or at least campaign on it and shit like that. Come on. No one cares about this. They care about their prices going down. I mean, and they are going down, but I mean, they're still high, but they're going down. Just trust the plan. Here we go.
This is on immigration. The American people at the kitchen table aren't talking about Epstein. They're talking about grocery prices, and as you already pointed out, they're down. I mean, they're still high, but they're coming down. And I think that's what's going to win a midterm election.
Yeah, and he's now real focused on it, especially after the last elections in these blue states. Kind of a wake-up call, and that's a good thing. The Democrats on the other side, I don't know what they're talking about. Gavin Newsom's in other countries talking about the weather. Kamala's talking to transgender people. I mean, what is going on over there?
It's sad for me because in 2020, I actually was a very big supporter of the
How you
Democratic
not
Party.
laugh at
I
that?
donated the maximum to Tulsi Gabbard. She's now a Republican alongside Trump. I hear Trump talking about tariffs. I understand this. I am a business owner. I own a skateboard company. We make all of our products in America, and I know what it means for an industry to outsource those jobs. And I agree with these tariffs because it's been a godsend for the manufacturing in this country, real Americans to get work, to benefit our culture. And when I look at Democrats, what are they talking about?
Timmy's
They've
a
got
job creator.
Mamdani talking about free buses and faster buses. He has no authority to do that. Chuck Schumer is infighting with Democrats, but the socialists are likely going to take over that party. I don't recognize them anymore. And it's strange to me that after all of my years, I'm going to be 40.
The irony of it is that with the Epstein stuff, Bill Clinton will be a name that's brought because Trump's forcing that, which means Timmy's going to do the same thing because he's a bot that works for other people. So Timmy's going to force the whole Bill Clinton thing, right? And it's like, yeah, I don't recognize these guys anymore. Where's the Bill Clintons at? I mean, like, who are you talking about, Timmy? You crapped on Biden. You crapped on Obama. I'm sure you're going to crap on Clinton if you haven't already. What Democrats are you talking about that you're used to? We're already, like, outside of your fucking age group already, bro. When he was born, it's probably Reagan, right? Reagan, then Bush, then Clinton, then Bush, then fucking Obama, then Trump, then Biden, then Trump. What Democrats are you talking about, Timmy? They've lost their way. Who are you talking about? You shit on the most recent Democrats. You've shit on Biden. You've shit on Obama. And I'm sure Clinton, too. Who are you talking about? He does this thing where he pretends to be in the Democratic Party. Like, I'm a moderate left. He pretends he says those things to trick the audience into thinking that he's fair, or that even a leftist is, calling the left wing insane right now. Even a leftist is saying the left has gone insane. That makes me feel good about myself. Meanwhile, you're just actually just stabbing yourself in the fucking gut if you buy into what Timmy's selling. Here we go.
Schumer is infighting with Democrats, but the socialists are likely going to take over that party. I don't recognize them anymore. And it's
But you
strange
hate
to
Chuck
me
Schumer.
that after all of my years, I'm going to be 40 in a few months. The Republicans are the party of the working class and of the manufacturing jobs. I wish we had real political competition in this country, but we just don't.
All right, so it looks like
This guy, they're the party of the working class? Who? Like, what policies are for the working class? Which ones? Things will trickle down to them. The job creation. I created some jobs myself at a skateboarding company. Where no real skaters will buy your shit, bro. There's no fucking chance. Your name would have to be 10 million miles away from that company for that to sell to, like, actual skateboarders. Otherwise, you ain't doing shit, homie. Get the fuck out. If they see Tim Pool's signature on there, they are not buying that skateboard. Other than to burn it, probably. Get the fuck out of here. I have a skateboard company for who?
the Republican Party may be competing against the socialists. And it looks like Chuck's
Look at
on
it.
his
The
last
socialists.
legs. And like Gavin Newsom, of all people, is like the one semi-normal Democrat.
They bring up socialism, right? And you see Trump is reversing Bidenomics, implying that he's a socialist or something. What the fuck are you talking about?
I
Sorry,
wish we had real political competition in this country, but we just don't.
guys
All
are
right, so it
fucking-
looks like
these
the
guys are
Republican Party may
actual
be
clowns.
competing against the socialists. And it looks like Chuck's on his last legs. And like Gavin Newsom, of all people, is like the one semi-normal Democrat that's like keeping everything at bay. I mean, is this what we're facing?
I'm pretty confident going into these midterms now. The past couple of weeks are a little worrying with the infighting on the right with some of these foreign policy issues. But, today it seems like Trump is back on message. The infighting is sort of dying down. And when it comes to what the Republicans have to offer, we have wasted a little time on the old Epstein debacle, but maybe that's just political strategy. I got to be honest, I look at the Democrats,
Wasted time on
and
the
with
Epstein
the future of the party being AOC and Mamdani, they don't have anything tangible to offer. In fact, I'm seeing reporting now that Staten Island wants to secede from New York City. because Mamdani does not have the
This guy's
confidence
a
of even his
tabloid.
own city. So I can look at Trump and I can understand tariffs. I can understand these tax policies, these dividends.
He's a tabloid that talks out loud. Like, actually, he is horrendous. He's dumb. He's not charismatic. His information's usually dog shit. What I've seen recently, the most important topics on his actual channel, he's not there most of the time. It's incredible. It's incredible. Who the fuck is buying this? Maybe they're trying to sell to grandma and grandpa to get them. Hey, here's a young guy that who understands what's going on here. Go watch some Tim Pool to their like grandchildren or something. Is that the goal here? I'm looking at two plastic human beings. Sell his bullshit to people. Incredible. I'm sorry for pausing so often, audience, but like it is what it is. I can't help it. He's so fucking full of shit. Oh fuck. Good luck with the devil worshipping. All right, here we go. Good luck.
It makes sense.
I'm sure it'll
I
work
don't see
out
anything
for
on the
you.
Democrat side, unfortunately.
The only thing that AOC and Mamdani have going for them, they've never been on Epstein's plane. Everything else, they got a lot of problems. Tim, great to see you. Hopefully the skateboard company keeps rocking.
Didn't that guy just win New York City?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having
He's
me.
got a lot of problems.
Breaking
he
news
just won, didn't he?
on wannabe Trump assassin
So
Thomas
to Tim's
Crooks.
point, right? Like the Epstein stuff gets a lot of eyes, and there's a small group of people that are extremely motivated by it and extremely interested in talking about it and stuff. But at the end of the day, the midterms, they're going to be decided by the cost of groceries. They're going to be decided by whether people feel like the economy is doing well. Do you guys feel?
Now, when I hear that, I don't hear that as an assessment of the population. I hear that as, hey guys, wink wink, you should be caring more about the grocery prices. And don't worry, they'll come down during the midterms. Rest of the time, you might be fucked. But during the midterms, they might go down a little bit. Thus, what's the Patrice O'Neill thing? They go, well, an 8-ounce New York strip was $16 at some point, but now it's like $35. But don't worry, Trump brought it down to $30. So guess what? You just saved $5, right? It's like, in actuality, you're actually paying double than you paid before. A little trick you can probably do with people's psyches alongside economics. And yeah, you watch. You fucking watch. They're gonna fucking play you, bro. Oh, fuck. Dick face Phil, man. Take it away.
Feel like the Republicans have any hope of fixing that? Oh, never mind. Here's Tim.
There we go.
Answer the question anyway.
No. I don't trust anybody.
Okay, so hopefully they go into Thomas
I
Crooks
think
up
it's
because I want to show you
the
the just a
And I
portion of
still
the
talk to
Tucker
people in
Carlson
the real
thing.
world who think the idea of the deep state is an issue. After watching Trump nearly, just barely survive that assassination attempt, seeing all this deep state work against him with lawfare, and a lot of people voting for Agenda 47, which in part was to dismantle the deep state. I think people, of course, want an economy where they can afford to feed their kids, but they also want to find a way to stop weaponizing the federal government against us.
But it's my belief that all that stuff is only important when people feel like they can pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a this sounds bad, but it's like a luxury belief
they're
in
trying
some
to
ways.
sell
Like when things are going really well, then you can like start hashing these things out. But like the thing with the Epstein thing, with it being kind of an online thing, is
The child thing is only important when you pay your bills.
weaponized against people. And
I think it's the exact opposite. The more and more frustrated they get with, fuck, I got this shitty economy. I can't pay my bills. What the fuck are these guys doing? And you look up, you see, wait a minute, they're protecting a sex trafficking ring of underage girls? I have a fucking daughter. What the fuck? I think it would like actually boost up those stories, not keep them quiet. I think them living a comfortable life might get them to pay less attention to things like that. All right? In my humble opinion. But they're kind of, it feels like they're spinning it the opposite direction. Seemingly. And I mean, that's what Trump, literally what Trump does. Why are we talking about this Epstein guy? I've ended 15 wars. The economy is it's going through the roof. We're prospering, guys. He actually says it as a distraction with the Epstein stuff. So like these guys are they're paid liars, man. So I would say disappointing, but like look at them. Come on, these guys never had a chance, bro. Let's be honest. They never had a chance. They have a chance later on, but they've kind of written their own stories to this point so far of like, yeah, I don't mind being full of shit. It gives me a comfortable life. See? Get a comfortable life, and now you're good. But if Timmy stops paying you, or you get significant drops in your wages working for Timmy, you might get pissed off. You might do something about it. You might even like release some background information on Timmy that's going on behind the scenes. Other than the cock over your shoulder, my man. Like, you gotta, like, just feng shui that shit, bro. Move seats somewhere, like, shift a little bit, tighten up the camera, maybe crop this out. All I see is a cock over your shoulder, man. Gotta work on that. Anyways, here we go.
Like, the thing
There's
with
more gaslighting and
the
bullshitting.
Epstein thing, with it being kind of an online thing, is, yeah, the only time it's ever deployed is when it's being weaponized against people. And yeah, I mean, like, look, the things that Trump has ran on that delivered his victory in 2016 was like immigration, reshoring manufacturing. Like, that's always gonna be the bread and butter issues. Things that Trump has ran on that delivered his victory in 2016 was like immigration, reshoring manufacturing. Like,
He's lying. He's lying. We know what got him elected. It was the sensational shit. It was the Clinton emails and drain the swamp and, you know, Hillary's going to jail and the deep state's going down and we're going to end these wars. Like, that was the actual thing. I guess he wasn't around when the quote-unquote October surprise thing happened and the Podesta emails and all that shit. Remember Hillary's servers was a big issue? Remember the debate, the one-liner, like, you'd go to jail. Like, he says it to Hillary Clinton on the main stage, right? On the debate main stage. It wasn't jobs and immigration. Come on. Yes, there were slogans like build the wall and shit like that, like slogans and shit behind it. But ultimately, what got him elected was people viewed him as either less or not corrupt compared to Hillary fucking Clinton, which everyone viewed as corrupt. It is what it is. So
He's
this
not
guy's
a
either
politician.
idiot. Maybe this guy was
Great.
like 15 when that happened or something. Maybe he's like a little kid when that happened. But he better go do some fucking research. Because I watched that shit with my eyes open. The clear selling point was the WikiLeaks email. I love WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks. The idea was like he was going to root out corruption. That was the idea he put out there. And people felt that was like it was actually substantiated by his debate rhetoric and his campaign rhetoric. Oh, he actually is going to do this instead of like just pretending to do so, right? He's like he's going to actually do it, bro. He brought up WikiLeaks. You know, the audience didn't know that in the background he's saying, yeah. What do you think about? Someone asked him about what do you think about Julian Assange? He's like, yeah, we should kill him. He should be dead, hung, killed, executed. He's a traitor to this country. He's not from America, but don't worry. He's a traitor to this country. Fuck Trump or fuck Assange. I mean, that was that. It was out there. It existed. But yeah. So this guy, like, that's retconning again. They're more retconning of society, of life, of history, of all of it. It's just retconning. It wasn't about jobs. In fact, we made fun of it. Right? Where like it went from drain the swamp to jobs, the economy. I don't need to go after Hillary Clinton. Right? He gave her and Bill a glowing speech, right? In his after he won, right? Gave them at a dinner, he gave them a glowing speech. These guys all show up to his inauguration all the time. Obama, Clinton. These guys show up. Like they're friends or something. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, this guy is an idiot. I don't know this person, but I can't tell if he's just an idiot or a subverter. Can't quite tell, but let's see if they get into the Thomas Crook thing, because that is, to me, another gaslighting job by professional liars. Here we go.
That's always gonna be the bread and butter issues for Americans. And it's like, yeah, the Epstein thing, it's obviously horrific and people want to see it addressed, but it's kind of a niche issue. People online don't realize this, but it really is. Like, it's not like, for example, earlier in the year when the Trump Bondi, debacle happened, Trump didn't really take a big hit in the polls, in the approval rating.
Pause.
And that's just evidence that's like, look, the vast majority of Americans aren't really online. They're not really tapped into online discourse at a super high level. Maybe they scroll their feeds, but like Twitter.
Timmy was just on Jesse Waters' show on Fox News talking about Epstein. Shut the fuck up.
Child trafficking?
Yeah, I'm going
Amazing.
I'm going beyond dumb. I'm going with this guy's full shot. But go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
Yeah, well, child trafficking is a topic of Trump's base, like completely. And so is, and that's the core part of it. But like the part that's provable. And then there's the corruption allegations, which that's the other reason why people want to know more about it, is if other people are implicated, how, like how that may lead to corruption, and people want to see what type of evidence comes out of it. So those are two core things that Trump ran on in his first election.
Oh yeah, and also with this term right now, what is even a bigger topic than Epstein for Trump's quote unquote base? Israel, straight up. There's no way around it. Israel is probably the number one thing right now. And who do they attach to Israel? They attach Epstein to Israel. They attach Charlie Kirk dying to Israel. That is a thing. I'm sorry, it is. Now, if they want to go by metrics on mainstream news, which is once again a bunch of 70-fucking-year-olds, bunch of 70-year-olds. Like, this guy walks around and only talks to people his own age. He's gonna run into an actual surprise, or he already knows he's full shit. He's lying. No one even cares about this anymore. It's like, isn't that what Trump was saying? Crazy, huh? Almost like you work for them or something. It's weird. Or you're just a dingbat, like you're just a fucking idiot. Don't worry. I know. It's mean because I'm picking on a guy that can't defend himself intellectually. But it has to be said. Like, you're a fucking idiot or you're full of shit. I can't see any other way around it. It's hard for me to like decipher. I can't see another option here. Anyways, here we go.
I think the average, or the 10% of Twitter is driven, or sorry, 90% of Twitter is driven by 10% of people, and then Twitter is like a fraction of the population. So it's like the amount of Americans that like their approval of Trump is dependent on how he handles the Epstein thing's like a very, very.
Oh no, there's a multitude of topics. As I
They're
said,
vocal,
Israel's a
and
big one.
Very loud.
They really, really think it's important, but I still believe that politics is moved by kitchen table issues.
Especially like compared to the amount of Americans who have been to a Costco and they see like how many illegal immigrants are on there. That's the kind of stuff that you can win elections off of. Just everyone has to go to a Costco at some point. Like,
have you
going to a Costco and seeing all the illegal immigrants? How do you know they're illegal immigrants? Well, they're brown skin. How do you decide who's an illegal immigrant, my man? Holy fucking frat boy idiot. Perfect for Timmy's crew to be on. And also, I think they'll be like, maybe some of them are like, oh my God, is that an illegal immigrant? Then they look down like, what the fuck? Why is the price double now all of a sudden? I think would be more of their reaction if you want to talk about dinner table issues. It's like, come on, dude. When mom gets off of work, she's done cooking dinner or whatever, wants to kick back and relax. Like older women, right? They're watching the fucking ID channel or some shit like that, bro. They're watching true crime, and guess what is the biggest true crime story in the world right now? It's fucking Epstein. Idiots. You dummies. It's just like, once again, if no one actually cared, why the fuck would Trump be releasing anything? Why would he give the okay to release anything? I think it looks more like the issue was so forced because people do actually care about this, that Trump has to give in and just say, all right, fine, we'll release him, but I want credit for releasing him. I want credit for it. So thus he's going to lean into it and say, pretend like he wasn't trying to stop it in the first place, which he was. And don't worry, these dingbat idiots will fucking do it for him too. They'll run cover for him as well. It's embarrassing. Like these are embarrassing motherfuckers. But here we go.
You guys gotten into the Crook stuff yet? I'm just coming back from Jesse Waters' show. For those who don't know,
Well done, by the way.
it's fun. It's always
Lots
fun.
of delays, but it was very well done.
Oh, right on. I appreciate it. A van pulls up. I jump in a van, and I was
It
joking.
takes you down by the river.
Yeah, was there
And it
candy?
just drives down by the river. They give me bottled water, and then I get to watch Jesse's show, and then he asks me questions, and I had fun. But there's a handful of
fun
big
line.
stories, and I wasn't here for the beginning of to see what you guys talked about, but we'll grab this one. Massive. Thomas Matthew
Massive story.
Crooks went by they them.
No one cares about Epstein, but this story's massive. Just once again, I beg people, use your brains. There we go.
On DeviantArt, linked accounts, big stories, and I wasn't here for the beginning of to see what you guys talked about, but we'll grab this one. Massive. Thomas Matthew Crooks went by they them on DeviantArt. Linked accounts reveal furry fetish.
This is
Crooks
their
was not simply some unknowable
major
lone actor. He
big
left a
story.
digital trail of violent threats, extremist ideology, and admiration for mass violence. So this is apparently coming from Tucker Carlson's report that he said, you know, we were told by the FBI.
This wasn't in his report, I
was
don't
from
think.
his report that he didn't have much of an online footprint. The FBI pushed back when Tucker Carlson said, why were they withholding this from us? And they said, you know, we never said he didn't have a footprint, but why didn't we know this when this happened? The narrative we were led to believe was that this guy may have been just mentally ill or even potentially right-leaning. Now we're getting information that this guy had a flip, became lefty, tried to kill
did he?
Donald Trump, and it's fitting into this pattern we've seen of these gender ideologue and
Oh, is it? Okay.
furry aligned shooters, strangely, just like this is the narrative we're hearing around the Charlie Kirk assassination as well. And there's been a handful of mass shootings that have been perpetrated by transgender individuals. It seems strange that this information was withheld from
Still
us.
outflanked by
I'm
quite a
wondering
bit.
if this was a Biden cover-up.
I'm not sure that I have a well, maybe I mean it completely could be a Biden cover-up. I hadn't really put a whole lot of thought into that. I do think that it's worth noting that the people that
is. There he is. Phil the Dick Face. He's a rock star. And I guess his album is All That Remains. So I wish my brain could be like seen for what I was like imagining in regards to all this. Oh, that's so funny. I'm gonna take a wild guess of what his music is. Let me guess.
This is my last resort.
Dun
Suffocation. No breathing.
Like it's just like that shit. Got like too baggy-ish sound shit.
You're a racist. Racist as fuck just because he's
imagine
white.
That's his music. I look at him. I'm like, okay, dweeb. Okay, but
What if it's more like Limp Bizkit? How dare you? How dare you?
He does Kid Rock cover songs.
yeah. Oh fuck, Phil LeBoner. Rockstar.
It's flaccid boner.
Imagine you're at a bar. This guy shows up to perform. What the fuck?
He's named the Rockstar. That's just hilarious. Maybe check out his music later. Maybe I do my intro music. Maybe I use watch him have heavier copyright than anyone else because no one's buying the music.
Needs money. He still owes for studio time.
I'm gonna need that check, yo. All right, here we go.
The engineer
This
garnish
is
it.
my last resort.
Here we go.
Not only are you racist, but now you're basically saying because he needs his money, he's desperate for his copyright. Fucked up.
Listen, sometimes you have to have a pussy over
You're
your
on-
shoulder like this guy has. He has a
You're
pussy
on
over
like
his
some
shoulder.
very bigoted, very anti-white.
So one guy has a cock over his shoulder, and Phil Boner has a pussy over his shoulder. Awesome, interesting. All right, here we go.
it's
That's
worth
art, bro.
noting
That's
that
art.
the people that will say, "Oh, this is something that's unique to the trans community or whatever. I think that this is actually an indication that there's so many people in the trans community that are actually mentally ill. Right? Like, I don't think that the trans is what's causing it. I think the mental illness is causing the transness. And then you've got people that are willing to, commit violent acts based on their mental illness.
So I assume we're going to retcon here. We're going to go back in time and say the Columbine shooters were gay lovers and one was a furry and one was trans, right? So let's retcon everything. But either way, like, fuck it. We'll play a little bit more. I was going to just cut them off and go right to the Tucker part where you can see that he's just lying in front of everyone's faces. Just lying to us. But, all right. Here we go.
Somewhat disagree. Because I've been talking about this earlier. And if it was just
it's a major
that,
story,
you'd see
major
this in
story.
a variety of different
This is-
ideologies, but for some reason we have this pattern of, 6 or 7 shootings in the past year or two that have been
6 or 7
involved in the specific gender ideology sect of things. Certainly if someone was just
like
mentally
200.
ill or disordered.
Whoa, 6 or 7 in the past couple of years? God damn. These. Now, if you actually, once again, stretch the stats out, it's not going to look so nice. But I don't want to go there. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to accuse every young white male kid of like, yeah, you're a fucking potential mass shooter. Right, as the Chris Rock joke goes. He's like, you know what I'm afraid of?
Tim's doing that. He's just saying they're also trans.
Yeah, retcon their lives because who cares about them, right? Right, Timmy? But I remember the joke from like 99. Chris Rock stand-up. No, it wasn't 99. It was like early 2000s, I mean. Bigger and Blacker by Chris Rock. And he's like, you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of young white boys. Like, if I see them in an elevator, bro, I'll take the stairs, bro. I'm avoiding that shit. Because that was the stereotype, right? Young white boys going on mass shootings. Which still happens to this day. Like, but that'd be such a cunty thing to like make a thing, but that's kind of the point of Timcast and what they do. They try to get you locked into stupid fucking arguments. Instead of like leading with empathy, they're leading with divisiveness. There's a lot of trans shooters out there. There's like 6 or 7 in the past couple of years.
And then
like what?
And then claiming that the left is trying to start a civil war at
Exactly.
the same time.
Exactly. And that is the actual formula of Tim Pool. We just saw it today with the Epstein stuff, where they're trying to say something to you as like an assessment, but in reality, they're trying to get you to like go that direction. No one really cares about Epstein. No one cares about Epstein anymore. No one really cares about that. They're telling you that, audience, to make you actually stop talking about it, make you think, like if you do care, make you feel like a little bit more alone. Like, damn, it is only a minority of us. Fuck. Just like with anything, like just like the Civil War thing, just on repeat. Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. It's not there. No one sees it there, or at least not yet. But don't worry, I'll just say it like it is happening, and then boom. Maybe I can get some people in my audience to start stirring things up. Oh my God, there's a civil war. Antifa's out there. I need to go out there with my rifle. Go do something about it. Let me protect the streets like Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me protect the streets.
And then if they follow through like January 6th, he throws them all under the bus.
Yep.
And then waits a couple years and then retcons that, makes it seem like he was with it. And he never attacked the Trump supporters.
That's the thing with like, I know like the Majority Report, people like that, they call this guy a grifter, right? Which he is, I would say so, but like I think it's grifting to a different level. Because there are things that he could make content out of that would actually boost his channel even more with real people, not without bots, like actual people. It would boost his content if he went in a certain direction, right? But he actually doesn't do it. He doesn't do it because he doesn't work for you guys. Like he doesn't even work for himself. Essentially, it's not for views and content. It's for something different. Timmy could be talking about Israel all the time on his channel. And just increase his following by a lot. By a lot. But he doesn't do it because
he needs to control the narrative.
Yeah, it's something outside of him just grifting for views and money. Something else is happening here, in my opinion.
He's like covertly what Charlie Kirk was overtly. He works for the same people, but he wants that like what's that shit? Black Rifle Coffee kind of look to it, where you think, oh, this guy's a hipster. He's not. He's not a suit and tie motherfucker like Charlie Kirk, but he is.
I mean, we have several instances of Timmy doing private or secret meetings with random high-level politicians, right?
Yeah, the highest levels of government in those two governments, which we all know who they are.
Like, why would Netanyahu want to meet with Tim fucking Pool for? Yeah, and it's like, those are only the things we hear about. Imagine what's happening that we're not seeing.
And through no fault of his own did we hear about it. Because if it was up to him, we wouldn't have heard about it.
Mm-hmm. And no shame about it either. That's where Timmy's at. No fucking shame about it. But play a little bit more and tell us how Thomas Crooks was Antifa and a trans furry lover or whatever the fuck he was.
They could find themselves in a whole plethora of various weird online fetishes and ideologies. These people we end up seeing are particularly in one ideology.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that means it is the online trans community that is particularly in favor of violence. And perhaps...
This guy's so full of shit.
And also most of I feel like a lot of MAGA supporters don't believe the official narrative, but Tim is trying to push them in that way. Because him pushing this story is trying to tone down the conspiracy theories or alternative theories.
Oh my
And he's trying to draw it like a correlation, right? Like he's trying to draw it like he says like 6 or 7 evil, and so that must mean there's something going on with these people, right? Like they're violent, right? So the 6 or 7 in the last few years, I just looked, and this year we have over 340 mass shootings. So we're about.
Those don't count, Jesse. Come on, those don't count.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't count.
Last year 500. The year before that 600.
Only
59.
only 6 or 7 count, Jesse. The other ones insignificant.
Right. Like, if you're gonna make a loose correlation, I mean, you're not like talking about it. And even 6 or 7, for me, I think is a lot. But
Yeah, me too.
But it you don't draw relationships that way from to come with the conclusion if you're not. It's like that.
I mean,
don't
if
know.
you
He's
really, what'd you say? 300 this year so far.
340. Since last month.
500 last year.
Yeah.
You would say the 6 or 7 are an aberration at best.
Well, they would just be like just a part of it, right? Like it's just a normal you want to see what's going on in general, but he's doing a whole story, like an important story that should not like we should talk about Epstein. We should talk about this thing, and it's weird why.
Well, I mean, come on. There's no way that the MAGA crowd is buying this fucking story.
But they might be like, oh, that's just Timmy, though. Which is that's also a scary, like, you're not pointing out the liars that are around you, bro. Come on.
Is he lying?
Come on. Listen, yo, Jesus, I need you to grab your friends, grab Neo, Batman, Evie from V for Vendetta, Morpheus, whoever. Show up with your friends, right? We need you right now. Please show up. Superman, Wonder Woman, grab them all up, float down to Earth. Because I need this guy to be scared into trying to be a good person. Because that's his only that's the only thing I see for hope for this guy. Is that all his regular life shit is threatened all of a sudden. Not in a violent way, but in a, oh, fuck, if I do this
existential way.
Doing the wrong thing can get me fucked? Oh, no.
Yeah.
God. I'm moving on to the... Here's the Tucker version, which is to me equally embarrassing. People view this guy as credible, but I see another spinster. Another spinster. Especially like the more and more I watch Tucker, because people are more and more giving him credit for things, the more and more dishonesty I start seeing. And it starts with things like this. Here we go.
And yet, in early 2020, Crooks seemed to change radically. On January 23rd of that year, he referred to, quote, Trump's stupidity. He began.
Okay, that means he's on the left. Okay. I disagree. I can see many people getting away with that. Getting away with what Trump has done. Billionaires, longtime senators, governors, or really anybody related to powerful people or political parties. Sure, being president makes it even easier.
But also keep
in mind the only reason we may know about this is because of Trump's stupidity. I mean, he is not really good at hiding things, and I am willing to bet this sort of conduct happens quite a bit and nobody finds out. So he changed radically. I don't see that here. In fact, everyone was saying this, right? Of like Trump's exposing the deep state by accident because he just opens his mouth and just says shit. But whatever, let's keep it moving. Let's find out.
A good friend of Tucker said things like this, called Jimmy Dore.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Literally. I've heard him say things just like this.
And Jimmy's the far left, so this might be a leftist statement. Although I think it's just an observation. But here we go. Let's apply.
To mock the concept of the deep state. He suggested it was a code word used by Trump supporters for, quote, anyone who disagrees with the right wing. Suddenly he sounded.
The deep state is simply made up of anybody who disagrees with the right wing. Conversation over. Is that his statement of like this is the case, or is that his statement of like yeah, if you go against the right wing, you're the deep state. Conversation over. How do you know what he's saying here, Tucker?
He's pulling comments this person said on YouTube. How does he know this is the person?
I trust me, bro. That is Tucker's claim. Yeah, we know this is the case. We know this is Thomas Crooks. But I'm not even worried about that. What I'm looking at here, the word so far is not leaning towards what he's saying. Is this supposed to be sarcasm? Yeah, also, like, this doesn't mean left-leaning at all. At all. Here we go.
He began to mock the concept of the deep state. He suggested it was a code word used by Trump supporters for, quote, anyone who disagrees with the right wing. Suddenly he sounded like an MSNBC commentator in February of 2020.
An MSNBC commentator. Look at that. Brilliant. These are your fucking heroes, guys. These are your heroes because Tucker can say Israel out loud. This is your fucking hero. Let's keep playing.
Agrees with the right wing.
It gets
Suddenly
worse.
He sounded like an MSNBC commentator. In February of 2020, he called out Trump supporters as, quote, too brainwashed to realize how dumb you are. I mean, literally, you guys sound like a cult at times.
Now let's look at that. You really believe that shit? You really believe that shit? How can you people call others sheep, but you are too brainwashed to realize how dumb you are? If someone told you Chinese people descended from aliens and put the fake archaeologists who found out on air as evidence, you'd believe it. But somehow you guys have woken up. I mean, literally, you guys sound like a cult at times. Surely that's MSNBC, right, Tucker? Let's continue.
To realize how dumb you are. I mean, literally, you guys sound like a cult at times.
They do.
That same day, he called Trump and his supporters, quote, racist. It was an amazing That same day, he...
No, I'm pretty sure people are just racist and Trump is one of them. There does not need to be a deep state for that. Okay, so that should have been attached to the other one, which would make it more context, make more sense. But yeah, if you call someone racist, you're clearly on the left. Got it.
Called Trump and his supporters, quote, racist. It was an amazing...
Don't worry, it gets weirder. Don't worry, it gets actually very, very weird. Like, a lot weirder. Here we go.
Transformation. That April, during the peak phase of the coronavirus lockdowns, Crooks wrote, quote, it seems that you people don't understand that sometimes public safety comes before your personal rights. Are you not willing to...
If someone if someone in your family has COVID-19, why wouldn't you want them quarantined? Are you really going to get in the way of trying to stop this pandemic on account of your phobia of government? Seriously, what is wrong with you guys? So you're hearing the mixture of where he's pro-government in one sense, anti-government in another sense, right? And Tucker's trying to make this. He's trying to force feed it in a direction that says he's on the left, just like Timmy does. Just like Timmy does. And as stated before in the video we did on this, there's plenty of right-wingers, that, Trump included, that believed in the whole coronavirus thing.
Operation Warp Speed. We have the best vaccines on planet Earth.
This guy is actually in line with Trump on that. Is not? All right.
That sometimes public safety comes before your personal rights. Are you not willing to quarantine one member of your family to save the rest?
So a few things. More than 90 to 98% of people won't get this due to the work of the CDC and WHO. And if people like you made the decisions, just about everyone would get this. Secondly, you left out the part where if your wife gets the cold, you and your kids will also get it. Are you not concerned about that? Are you willing to quarantine one member of your family to save the rest? If so, you are not a patriot, and you aren't protecting anything. What? Are you not willing to quarantine? Okay. If so, you are not a patriot, and you aren't protecting anything. It's very left-leaning rhetoric right there, patriot. And yeah, I think Trump was saying trust the CDC and the WHO in regards to coronavirus, right?
Trump said way worse things than this guy, and Tucker defended him. Tucker acted like he didn't say it. Then he defended him.
Okay, don't worry. It's going to get stranger. Let's keep playing.
If so, you are not a patriot and you aren't protecting anything. Around this time, the new left-wing version of Thomas Crooks became very critical of conservative media. He said at one point, quote, going to a Chinese New Year's party in a...
Now, the quote-unquote left-wing version of Thomas Crooks here. Tom Sizzle. Well, actually, South Korea and Japan closed down first. So, again, that's wrong. It'd be nice if he showed the other comments, but whatever. Also, L.A. and other places.
Yeah, places.
What the?
This dude probably ran too. He's typing too fast.
No. There's no way you fuck up places with places. Is that even a word? Is places a word? Whatever. And other places in California acted faster than them. Hospitals in Louisiana and New York still aren't completely caught up. And going to a Chinese New Year's party in America isn't putting you at risk for coronavirus because believe it or not, viruses don't spread through race like Tucker Carlson probably told you. Okay?
So that's why Tucker's butt hurt.
So if he insults Tucker, he insults the right wing. But Tucker, if you insult Ben Shapiro, does that make you anti-right? Are you leftist now? Are you on the left now, Tucker?
Or Ben can claim that.
Ben has claimed that essentially. Yeah, you guys sound like the left. Or Mark Levin. Here we go.
And very critical of conservative media. He said at one point, quote, going to a Chinese New Year's party in America isn't putting you at risk for coronavirus because, believe it or not, viruses don't spread through race like Tucker Carlson probably told you. That May, as state officials across the country overhauled election systems to promote mail-in voting, Crooks attacked Republican concerns about voter fraud as, quote, ignorant.
The very last word he highlighted. Okay. If that's such dishonest way of read the entire fucking thing and let your audience decide, like, what does that mean to you guys? You fucking idiot. You fucking liar. You full of shit artist. But Tucker said something about Israel. Anyone can say fucking words out loud. Anyone. That's just not true. I don't know what he's responding to. Yes, there is cheating in elections, but to claim only one party does it, and to claim it is the only reason they ever win is ignorant. Sounds like a far leftist to me. Simple as, obviously makes sense statement means you're on the left, I guess. What the fuck? Don't worry, it gets dumber. Somehow. It's going to get dumber. Here we go.
4 months later, in August 2020, his tone had shifted even further to the left.
Further to the left. Perhaps, but Trump, once again, we don't know what this guy said, the thinking impaired guy said. Perhaps, but Trump won in an upset victory in 2016 and could do the same again. Either way, I believe the outcome will be irrelevant. How the fuck does that mean? He's on the left. He's on the left.
He's not gargling Trump's nuts. That's
okay. Okay. Don't worry, guys. It gets even weirder. I kid you not. Here we go.
He said, quote, I believe the outcome will be irrelevant. In response to the same video, Thomas Crooks issued what sounds a lot like
out before Tucker.
Relevant. In response to the
Nice. Responding to this person, that's going to be interesting. This is the weirdest part of this. This Willie Tepes guy is definitely the weirdest part of all this, of Tucker's assessment that he's on the left. Okay, I highly doubt a tow missile launcher isn't going to work because it's raining and drones available to civilians aren't capable of killing you. And even if you are right, and some of the military's weapons can't be used in rain or snow, etc., how does that really matter? I can guarantee you aren't going to win a war by only fighting in bad weather. In my opinion, the only way to fight the government is with terrorism-style attacks. Sneak a bomb into an essential building and set it off before anyone sees you. Track down any important people / politicians / military leaders, etc., and try to assassinate them. Any sort of head-to-head fight is suicide, and even ambush surprise
attacks aren't going to end well.
Yeah. So.
Will not end well.
Yeah. Once again, where's the left-leaning part of all this? I don't get it.
He's talking strategy, like tactics.
Yeah. But don't worry, Tucker's going to make this, he's going to turn this statement in here into Antifa. Watch him do his magic. Here we go.
Same video, Thomas Crooks issued what sounds a lot like a digital manifesto. Quote, in my opinion, the only way to fight the government is with terrorism-style attacks. Sneak a bomb into an essential building and set it off before anyone sees you. Track down any important people or politicians, military leaders, etc., and try to assassinate them. Any sort of head-to-head fight is suicide, and even ambush or surprise attacks likely aren't going to end well. These remarks were especially notable.
So, like you said, Tucker already built the narrative that these guys on the left, he had a radical transformation towards the left, obviously, and he's putting ideas in your head as you're trying to watch this. But thankfully, I have a brain, so I can see past what he's doing, because he's gonna say something even once again, this is not even the craziest part. Wait for this shit. Wait for this.
Or surprise attacks likely aren't going to end well. These remarks were especially notable because they came at the final phase of Crooks's YouTube commenting.
Final phase, huh?
At that point, a new character emerged into the conversation, a user named Willie Tepes, who started pressuring Crooks to commit violence. For example, quote, if a gun and a badge is all that is needed, then authority obviously comes from the barrel of a gun. We have more guns than they do. There is no way we can avoid a war at this point, so you better just get used to the idea.
Sounds like the far left to me. We have more guns than they do. Far left. All right, let's go.
Nothing to lose and everything
I'm
to...
not going to let you skip shit. I can't really see any downside to people who are sitting on an armory of guns. The more guns that are out there, the less likely a gun confiscation will be possible. Sounds like MSNBC to me. Nope. Guns do not guarantee a victory any more than jet fighters, tanks, and drones do. It is the fighting spirit and brains that wins. You have nothing to lose and everything to win. I'll let Tucker read this.
Win. And the alternative, a global police state, is unacceptable. Nothing in life is simple, but that is no argument against doing it.
Global police state. That's for sure the left, right? For sure. That's MSNBC and all that stuff, right? Got it. For sure, Antifa. Got it.
So who is this Willie Tepes? Unfortunately, we don't know. The FBI hasn't made any mention of him in public, although they certainly know he exists. Just days after the shooting, somebody screenshotted Tepes' YouTube account page, despite the fact he had very few followers. To the extent that he can be traced online now, you can find his username being used on a foreign Antifa website. Those sites link him to the Nordic Resistance Movement, which has been designated a terrorist group by the U.S. State Department. That's all we.
Wait, but Tucker. Here we hear that again.
The fact he had very
Foreign
few followers.
Antifa
To the extent that he
website.
can be traced online now, you can find his username being used on a foreign Antifa website. Those sites link him.
Foreign Antifa website.
They sure got a lot of money.
The United States remains deeply concerned about the racially and ethnically motivated violent extremists, REMVE, threat worldwide and is committed to countering the transnational components of violent white supremacy. Today, the Department of State is designating Nordic Resistance Movement as a specially designated global terrorist pursuant to executive order, yada, yada, yada. NRM is the largest neo-Nazi group in Sweden, with branches in Norway, Denmark, Iceland, and also Finland, where it has been banned since 2020. NRM's violent activity is based on its openly racist, anti-immigrant, anti-Semitic, anti-LGBTQI plus whatever the fuck. For sure, that's Antifa, right? Right, guys? For sure, that's that is like the definition of Antifa. For sure, right? Openly racist, anti-immigrant, anti-Semitic, anti-LGBT, whatever the fuck, right? For sure, that's Antifa, right, guys? Come on. No, what I said was they're on a Antifa website. There's a difference. Why would you even, what's the point of doing that? You said he's radically moving towards the left. You said that, right, Tucker? And now you bring up Antifa in regards to this, when the actual idea from this FBI database thing is violent white supremacy. Now, I'm not some guy that would designate people as fucking terrorists. I don't like that idea. But this is just to counter what Tucker's doing, which is narrative spinning. To make you, start, just like Timmy was doing. Just like this fuckface was doing. They're trying to say, oh, this guy's a far left, pro they, them, pro furry, pro trans person. And Tucker's like, well, you know what I heard, Timmy? Antifa. He was being recruited by Antifa. This is what you're dealing with, people. These guys are professional liars. They're lying to you. And if you're not as pissed as I am, that the insult to my intelligence, if you're not as pissed as I am, I don't know what to fucking tell you then. Maybe do something else. Maybe walk away from politics. Because they are literally subverting you. In real time subverting you. If you accept that, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Good luck in life. Good luck in the afterlife as well. You guys subvert yourself. Good luck after that. But anyway, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I mean, I'm sure when I'm shitting on Timmy, people will be like, oh, whatever. It's fucking Timmy. Who cares? He's a leftist anyways. But when I go after the golden goose here named Tucker Carlson and showcase how this guy's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. This guy will protect the administration. He would. We've already seen it. What about Israel? How come I can't criticize Israel, huh? How come I get in trouble for that? Huh? The lames will buy that. I won't. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I can't. I've seen enough. I've seen enough IQ tests for me. I can't fall for it. But if you guys have a coherent argument for why Tucker's legit, and I'm the one that's just dead wrong about things, please go ahead. I dare you to. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, and I mean that in actuality. It's not a PR move. It's not a marketing statement. It's real. All opinions are actually welcome. Just don't be pornographic or grotesque about it. That's all. Everything I showed you in this video will be linked in that same description box for you to watch on your own. If you don't believe me, or if you don't like me talking, or anyone else talking, please go watch it on your own. I beg you to. And just make sure your brain's working in those moments. That's all I ask for. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down. Idiots.